Hey everybody, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I think becoming a chair user that I've gained superpowers. I know that sounds just nuts, but bear with me, I'll explain it, okay? Before I do that though, any background noise you hear, I'm sorry, it's the street behind me, and I figured it's a nice day, so why not get out, enjoy nature, get out of the chair, stretch my legs a little bit. Again, I'm an incomplete, so I can kind of hold myself up a little bit. But anyway, so back to this superpower. So I think, let me tell you what it is. I know this is going to sound weird, but I think that somehow my subconscious reaction time is like crazy fast. Like there's times where I'm in the kitchen and I legitimately drop something, I see it falling, and I'm still able to take my hand and catch it without even realizing it. And I have prevented many a mess from this happening, and probably saved my own life from my wife quite a few times because of this happening. Sometimes it's been ajar and somehow it's falling, I see it, and just I don't even know. It's like I'm a ninja. I'm a ninja. But actually, I think I think there's some truth into some of the gains and things after the fact of loss. Like you lose your sight. I think that there is a chance for other senses to be heightened to kind of to make do. Like if you think about our adaptive bodies, we aren't able to do everything core wise. I know that I have certain muscles in my body that work and certain ones that don't, and the ones that do work pretty much fire on overdrive to compensate for the ones that don't. And I think that's similar in case with some of these senses and so forth. So yeah, and I think where this kind of adapted and grew was when I first got put in the chair. I was angry, as I've said in previous videos, that I rejected the idea of chair life, and I knew I was going to walk again. I knew it was going to happen. And you know, but at the same time I said, you know what, but for now you are in a chair. This is the facts, this is where you're at. So I said, you know what, if I'm going to be in this chair, I'm going to learn this chair. The first thing to do was to learn how to do wheelies. How I did that was leaning up against the couch, so if I fell backwards I wouldn't hurt myself, and it gave me an opportune time to try to learn wheelies and trying to find that balance point. And I'll totally do a video on how you do them and why it's necessary, if physically possible, to know how to do a wheelie. I'll be more than happy to do that, and that's kind of on the plan board. But you know, through those times of doing wheelies, there were times where you almost fall. And just like riding a bike or when you're driving a car, your instinct to instantly hit the brake, it's a practice motion. You brake instinctively if something runs across the road or whichever, because it's an instinct. You've practiced this over a period of time and it becomes subconscious. And I think some of the most astute I guess movements or whichever is when you can build it into subconscious, and that I think is almost the same when it comes to professional athletes and so forth. But anyway, all of that said, because I think that there is something to learn, that we may have lost some things becoming chair users, but we have the opportunity to gain on the opposite effect. Again, and it's all person to person and their perception and how they want to view things. You know, I think it's important for our psyche, for our mental, for who we are, to again let go of some of those harder times, and yes, they're there, but try not to dwell on them. One thing that I tell my kids, and that I try to actively practice myself, is you're absolutely entitled and should grieve. I mean, you've lost a lot. I mean, we have. And grieving is okay, but dwelling on it is not. You have, I'll have my kids, when they throw a tantrum, I say, hey, you know what? Go to your room, take 5 minutes. Scream at your pillow, punch your pillow, drop kick your pillow, sit there, whatever you want to do. Pretend it's me and chuck a ball at it. I don't care. You got 5 minutes to throw your tantrum, however you want to. As long as you're not breaking things, go for it. That's okay, because what you feel is important, and being able to express and release that is important. And then on the flip side of that, though, okay, after your 5 minutes are done, we come out, we put our big kid panties or underwears on, and we move forward. We figure out what we need to do to progress ourselves. Again, yes, we struggle with something. Absolutely, it's valid. We're frustrated. You know, something's on the top shelf and I can't get it, and it's infuriating. I right now, at this moment, I got a couple of light bulbs out, and that's the one thing I've yet to really figure out. I haven't figured it out, but I will. It's something I haven't practiced too much, but I got some ideas I'm going to test around. But the fact is right now, can't do it. And then for that split moment, I'm like, ooh, with my legs. But then I'm like, you know what? If changing a light bulb's the worst thing right now that you're mad about, then your life's pretty good. And I'm cool with that. Again, it's about the grieving process, about learning what you do have, what you are capable of, and to recycle back to, you know, my superpower. You know, through the chair life, yes, outside of my gimpy-like reflexes that I think have saved my hiney a few times, I think it is very important to learn how you and your body works. And to backtrack to last week's episode of stretching, getting out of your chair is healthy. Doing this, it's not a whole lot. It's getting out. It's getting your body stretching. It's healthy for up here. It's healthy for right here. And it allows you to adjust. And that's important. You need to learn your body. Learn what you're able to do. Get out of your chair. Practice. And do things that are a little uncomfortable. Figure out your balance points. Get up here. If you have zero core, then sit up and try to practice balancing and you know, learn how to fall the right way, because the more you prepare yourself for things, because at some point I think most of us have probably fallen from our chair, and yes, that's dangerous, and yes, you can hurt yourself, but the more that you put yourself in a situation to react better and to practice falling safely, the more you're going to be able to do less harm when these things happen. It's just like when you go to work and you get a new position. You don't know all what you're doing. It's nervous. You're nervous and you're unsure. But you got to prepare for situations that you're not readily expecting. And that preparation is the #1 key to avoid accidents and hurting yourself. Prepare yourself. Practice. And last week's the activity and getting out helps you do that. Getting out, stretching, doing some kind of fitness allows you to put yourself in the best position to protect yourself as much as possible, physically, but mentally, emotionally, and then subconsciously. Instincts. I'm telling you, I know it sounds crazy, but the more you learn you and your body, the more you're going to be able to do down the road. And the more you are going to want to keep striving for more. And then as you start progressing, you're going to start seeing that light again and pulling yourself out of that dark hole, so to speak. A couple other things outside of my ninja stuff is what the chair life has truly given me or opened me up to or allowed me to have is clarity. I am much more self-aware in how I do things and what I can do and my limitations. And honestly, it's going through something so difficult, and I mean, I went through 6 years at least of just depression and heartache and hurt and pushing, and just I mean, I can't tell you how many people I've wronged. And if any of you guys are watching, I'm sorry to anybody that I ever hurt. It was never intentional. It was never anything like that. But, you know, that's my grieving process, and that, you know, I've moved forward, and it was through those experiences that allowed me to really see where I'm at and where I've come to, and I'm happy with who I am now. I'm happy with where I'm at, and that was only because I had to teach myself to accept certain things and move forward, get active, figure out what I can do, and practice. And outside of clarity, it's allowed me to try new things. As weird as that sounds, it's opened up some doorways. I mean, had I not gotten put in the chair, I probably wouldn't have met my now wife. Who knows where I'd be? I wouldn't have as much appreciation for life, you know. And I think it's to some degree true to what they say, you don't know what you got till it's gone, and that is true. But I think alongside that, I think when things are gone, you appreciate every little thing you've got, or you have that opportunity. It's just about how you look at it and move forward. But basically, this episode's more of what Share Life has given me versus what it's taken away. And I think that, and I hope that the takeaway from this video is that, you know, whether we're chair users or able-bodied or deal with some other disability or hardship in life, whether it's loss of a loved one or any of these things, there's always something to learn and take away from that and appreciate afterwards. I think that with loss and the right mindset, that there is so much to be gained, and just to be loved. And again, that's the reason for these. I just want each person who's felt hurt like I've felt, and every person that has struggled and have lost their way, lost who they've wanted to be, lost who they think they are, don't know what they want anymore, like confused on every front, you know, lost people that you thought were friends and weren't, you know. You're not alone. I'm here with you, I promise. And I guarantee you there are a bunch more people that would be supportive and helpful in any way that we can. So keep striving to make you better. Keep pushing forward. Focus on the things that we do have and find your own superpower. I appreciate you guys watching and listening. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.